Hello everyone, and welcome to this latest section of teaching, learning and assessment within the disciplines. So having already explored some of the theories of learning and some of what makes for successful teaching, both in a more general sense and also in the context of teaching at Strathclyde, the previous section of the course gave us an opportunity to experiment with a few different teaching styles. And the idea of this is that we're really bringing our focus down to the practical level. The purpose of this section is to situate these ideas right within our disciplines and to think about the application of everything that we've looked at and learned and explored so far on our students' experience of teaching or of being taught and of learning within our subject areas. So although the title of this section is Theoretical Tools, it's important that you're not misled. This is intended to be an incredibly practical section, albeit what we're doing is using a few theoretical tools to frame and to guide our discussion and the activities that we've provided for you. So in fact, what we'll do is look at three theoretical tools within this section. The first of these is threshold concepts. The second is decoding the disciplines, and the third is signature pedagogies. Now, the idea of threshold concepts and decoding the disciplines is really about helping us as teachers to identify sticking points that can be barriers or obstacles to our students' learning. And these tools can also encourage us to reflect on any expert blind spots that we might experience as, well-seasoned, very highly educated veterans within a particular subject area. And sometimes we can know a subject so well that it can become quite difficult for us to reconstruct the experience of students who are encountering some of this knowledge and some of these concepts for the very first time. And the activity sheet that we've based one of the activities around within the course is intended to help you as a teacher to become better aware of these sticking points and to come up with a few practical strategies and activities that can help your own students to pass through these thresholds. The third concept that we'll look at is signature pedagogies, and this is also a really useful conceptual tool for a number of reasons. The promise of this concept of signature pedagogies is that it can help us to, rather than just repeating the way in which all of our colleagues teach within a discipline, we can start to understand what might be the most appropriate set of tools and teaching activities for a given subject. And it can also help us to make sense of some of the more obvious challenges related to classroom management that can exist when we use a particular taken for granted approach to teaching a particular subject or a particular discipline. And there's also a further point here that we'll have the opportunity to explore, which is sometimes in a department, if we're the only teacher who is looking at things in a slightly different way or offering activities that might go against the grain in terms of that signature pedagogy, we can experience sometimes quite a bit of resistance or inertia from our colleagues, or perhaps just a lack of understanding about what it is that we're trying to do and why it is that we're trying to do that. So the activities that we've constructed for you around signature pedagogies will give you an opportunity to think about this in very practical terms and hopefully give you the opportunity to challenge some of the status quo in relation to teaching and learning within your field. So all of the activities that we've chosen here are really intended to give you an opportunity to work in your, in your interdisciplinary groups. In interdisciplinary pairs, using that buddy system that we came up with at the end of last term, and also the opportunity to work and reflect as an individual. And in fact, there are these two activities that require you to work in groups. So what we're recommending from the outset is that when the group leader organises a group meeting to look at the first activity, you also dedicate a bit of time to looking at activity number 4, just to make sure that you don't have to organise multiple meetings for this section. And as always, that's a good reminder for us to look at the group membership form on MyPlace and make sure that if we are the group leader for section 4, this section of the course, to make sure that we really familiarise ourselves with the activities, understand what's required of us, and make sure that we're really on it, and that we're adding that kind of structure and that organisation to the group activities in particular. As always, please, as you're going through the activities within the group, please make use of us as tutors. If you have any questions or if there's anything that's unclear on My Place, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us and to ask us questions, because as we've seen in most of the previous sections, if there's a question that one person has about the activities, it's usually really useful for everyone who's going through the course. So please don't be shy to get in touch with us, to ask questions and to make use of us as much as possible. We'll also, like we've done previously, try to dip into some of those activities and provide, ongoing feedback and a few opportunities for further reflection on some of the forum posts that you add and so on and so forth. And all that really remains for me to say then is that, we look forward to learning with you throughout this section and seeing how you, reflect on the opportunities for learning, think about your own teaching practice, and try to put these theoretical tools into action.